Well, maybe they're not completely injured. I meant to say more so they are both exhausted. It's been a battle between these two. Steve misses. Roberts connecting with a drop kick. What a matchup this certainly is. Kyle Roberts seems to have some momentum on his side. Not enough. This has been an incredible battle now. We're a good 17 minutes in, maybe, somewhere 16, 17 minutes in. 60-minute time limit on this battle. We didn't get to make the formal announcement because Steve Fender jumped the gun. 60 minutes. Hopefully that is plenty of time to determine a champion. Now, wait a minute. Kyle Roberts is scaling to the top. Very, very dangerous scenario here, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out. Superstar Steve Fender was nailed by Kyle Roberts, and this crowd is intense. Trevor Murdoch even got up out of his seat. Can't believe it. The intensity of this matchup. Referee Curtis Deerling going to check on both men now. Make sure they're able to continue competing. Wow, incredible action here in Ringside Championship Wrestling. It's a cliche, they're putting it all on the line, but they certainly are here. They understand exactly what is at stake, and Kyle Roberts just cannot believe that's not a 3 count, and I certainly sympathize with the young man. Roberts getting a little bit frustrated. He needs to keep his composure here. You don't want anything going awry because you got your temper flared. Now, Kyle Roberts' temper is certainly flaring now. He is just delivering some lethal kicks. Steve Fender, though, you never count out the superstar. Just when you think you have him right where you want him, he'll do something devastating. Oh, man. Steve Fender, Kyle Roberts, they have literally given it everything. They've thrown everything at it but the kitchen sink, as they say, to use another old cliche. You can tell I'm getting up there in years. We're back here, wrestling fans. Hopefully that is our last chance, or last time we had to take a commercial break. We want to stay with this action and bring you a conclusion between superstar Steve Fender and Kyle Roberts. Roberts may have the victory here, and it was not to be. What a matchup. Superstar Steve Fender, Kyle Roberts, the man with the lethal feet. Oh, Roberts connected with a couple of shots there. This could be the opening this young man needs. He could be within
20 minutes has expired. 40 minutes.
his chance to be RCW Heavyweight Champion. Will it be? His shot. Kyle Roberts thinking high risk. We know he is a master of the frog splash. When he hits that maneuver, it's as good as over on many occasions. Steve Fender, though. Superstar Steve Fender knew that was coming. Got the knees up. Steve Fender, what's he looking for here? Brain buster applied. That could be it. And we have a new RCW Heavyweight Champion, and his name is Superstar Steve Fender. The Steve Fender era has begun here in Ringside Championship Wrestling. This is a long-awaited rematch for the RCW Heavyweight Championship between superstar Steve Fender, the man you see right there with the RCW Heavyweight Championship around his waist, and the challenger, the #1 contender, Kyle Roberts, young man out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. As referee Garrett Williams will handle the duties here, showcasing the RCW Heavyweight Championship belts to the great fans in attendance. It was Lebanon I-44 Speedway, the host of RCW Speedway Slam 2, the rematch for the RCW Heavyweight Championship, many months in the making. After superstar Steve Fender became champion in a tournament final back at RCW Richland Rumble on March 3rd, and now this long-awaited rematch. Kyle Roberts has had a chance to study the match in which he was unsuccessful. He's had a chance to compete across the country. Watch out here, superstar Steve Fender was looking for a sneak attack. He had asked referee Garrett Williams to double, maybe triple check Kyle Roberts for weapons, something illegal, and of course we know Kyle Roberts, he doesn't play that way. Fender missed, and now he is on the receiving end of some early offense from this young man out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. Buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. We're going for a ride between two of the greatest athletes in our sport today, with the RCW Heavyweight Championship at stake. Of course, you saw the top of our program highlights the last time these two gentlemen did battle at Richland City Gym on Saturday night, March the 3rd. What a contest that was. And now here we go with a rematch of epic proportions as Kyle Roberts looks to gain a measure of revenge and go home with the prestigious Ringside Championship Wrestling Heavyweight title. Roberts going to work early on the left arm of Steve Fender, but the superstar, he has some vicious knife-edge chops, and it's going to take a lot to put Steve Fender down to the mat or make him submit. No question about that. There is a reason he is the RCW Heavyweight Champion. There's a reason Steve Fender has won championships literally all over the globe. And here's some more reasons, some of those vicious knees that the superstar can deliver. Now he's looking for some offense, but the young man Kyle Roberts is game for this battle. He is prepared. He wants to be the champion. A 2 count only right there, as referee Garrett Williams will have his hands full between these two because no love lost whatsoever as the great fans here in Lebanon, Missouri look on at the action. Kyle Roberts and superstar Steve Fender not only have they battled here, of course, in Ringside Championship Wrestling, but many promotions across the Midwest, somewhat of a standing rivalry between these two. But right here in Ringside Championship Wrestling, it is as intense as anywhere when they do battle. As the superstar realizes he was in trouble, needed to get to the floor, get to the asphalt area here of the beautiful Lebanon I-44 Speedway track, and Steve Fender now trying to collect his thoughts here. A little bit out of sorts is Fender. Wait a minute, here comes Kyle Roberts. Watch out, superstar Steve. Kyle Roberts is taking the battle to the man who has traveled all over the planet. International superstar is Steve Fender. And Kyle Roberts is giving him all he can handle, and then some. Referee Garrett Williams out here trying to get both men to get back into the ring. As Williams realizes that, well, he knows the fans here, they paid their hard-earned money. They want to see a decisive winner in this rematch for the RCW Championship. They don't want to see a situation where it's a count-out or disqualification or anything like that. They want a winner, and wait a minute, Steve Fender connected with the steel post at ringside, and he was not the winner, and Kyle Roberts reintroduces the arm to the steel again. And now maybe Kyle Roberts has picked out again that body part and going to go to work on the superstar. He has already done damage to the left arm, and now that meeting with the steel post on a couple of occasions is putting Steve Fender certainly on the defensive here right now as we battle for the RCW Heavyweight Championship. The action and excitement of Ringside Championship Wrestling returns live, and you can see it on Saturday, December the 15th. All the details being finalized as we speak. Stay tuned to RCW Ringside Edition TV right here on Fidelity Local 6 and the High Spots Wrestling Network YouTube, and of course our Facebook page, or log on to our social media platforms to stay up to date with all the details. We'll have more on that big card on the next edition of RCW Ringside Edition TV. Finalizing the event location, we've kind of mentioned in our last episode what could be the potential location for that event. Getting some contracts finalized, and we can promise you this, it will happen. There will be wrestling action in this area of the country on Saturday, December 15th, courtesy of Ringside Championship Wrestling. The question that remains to be seen is who will go into that card as the RCW Heavyweight title holder. Will it be Superstar Steve Fender? Maybe it might be Superstar Steve Fender, but he may be one arm short if this current situation continues. Kyle Roberts has been very, very good about staying on the arm, and that's the goal. A lot of young athletes, they start out, they have a strategy, maybe they pick out that a particular body part, start to go to work on it, and then decide to switch over. Never get the momentum they really need to be victorious, but that's not the case here for young Kyle Roberts. He has found that arm can be damaged, and he is just putting a hurting for certain on the RCW champion Steve Fender, who again, Steve Fender not going out without a tremendous fight. It's going to be a battle between these two. Glad to have both men here in Ringside Championship Wrestling as part of our roster. In recent weeks, of course, on the last edition of this very television program, you saw the debuts of Cameron Brene, the queen of Team Babe, and Tootie Lynn Ramsey. Great ladies competition here in Ringside Championship Wrestling. Of course, they join others like Miss Monica Passieri, Lucy Mendez as part of that division. And, of course, we saw the RCW debut of Ace Steel, the Second City Saint. So a lot of top-notch wrestling superstars are coming to Ringside Championship Wrestling. Two of them here doing battle for the richest prize in this organization, our Heavyweight Championship. You're going to see a lot more great wrestling superstars coming down the pike here in RCW to compete for this very title and any others that may be introduced. Watch out, Steve Fender now finds himself on the apron, but now he finds himself on the unforgiving asphalt floor of the Lebanon I-44 Speedway. Referee Garrett Williams trying to back him up. We apologize due to the time of day this particular event is being recorded. It's hard to stay with it. We're having a little bit of haze to the video screen, but I think you can all see exactly what's going down. And what's going down right now is Kyle Roberts in control of the RCW Heavyweight Champion. Kyle Roberts introducing the face of Superstar Steve Fender to the apron, and now rolls the champion back in. Kyle Roberts has to sense a lot of momentum here, has to feel that he has a golden opportunity to be victorious and get this victory. He went for the cover there a few moments ago to not to be, and now Superstar Steve Fender knows exactly where he is in the ring at all given times. Realized that left arm was in more trouble. He was right close to the ropes and able to grab those ropes and cause a break, but talk about determination and staying with things. Kyle Roberts right back to work on the left arm. Gonna twist and turn it now and try to put this arm out of commission. Great action, great excitement. Ringside Championship Wrestling. Watch this here, as Kyle Roberts almost had a victory right there. Superstar Steve Fender, of course, he made his Ringside Championship Wrestling debut right here last year at Speedway Slam 1 against Trevor Murdoch in Trevor's last televised match. Trevor's been back in action some around the circuit in Oklahoma and other parts of the country, Arkansas, with some great wrestling organizations, but it was the final time for television purposes at that point for Trevor. And Superstar Steve Fender says the reason you don't see Trevor around this part of the world anymore, is at least Ringside Championship Wrestling, is because he, one superstar Steve Fender, put Trevor Murdoch out of action. Well, that's not exactly how it went, but, you know, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. Look at this. Steve Fender thought he outsmarted Kyle Roberts, and that was not the case as Roberts connected. And now the young man from La Crosse, Wisconsin continues his momentum, and if this pace continues, ladies and gentlemen, I have a good feeling we are going to have a new RCW Heavyweight Champion. Roberts crossbody, tremendous. Tremendous aerial maneuvers there from Kyle Roberts, but it was not enough to keep the superstar down, and Steve Fender showing why he is RCW Heavyweight Champion. Swinging neck breaker, well executed by Steve Fender.
That's more like it.
Referee Garrett Williams going to apply the count now. Tremendous action going on here. Ringside Championship Wrestling Speedway Slam 2. And you're watching it here courtesy of RCW Ringside Edition TV. Now Fender looking that swinging neck breaker was really a game changer for Steve Fender. He needed some high impact maneuver, and that ended up being it to change the momentum, change the tide. Steve Fender is trying to go to work and get some momentum on his side now against the young man Kyle Roberts, who has done a great job of working on the left arm. As Steve Fender, you'll see favoring that arm still, as these two are just nailing each other with everything they have, whether it's a forearm or it's a knife-edge chop. They are bringing it here. That's what Ringside Championship Wrestling is all about. Giving it your all, bringing everything you have to the table, because so much is at stake. And Fender now caught Kyle Roberts coming in. Roberts was looking for another slice of momentum, and it was not to be. And Steve Fender now, again, favoring the arm, but he is starting to put the offense of his own on to Kyle Roberts and is going to try to wear him. This is a good move right here. Roberts has been full of energy from the get-go. Steve Fender tried to attack early. Roberts sensed it, moved out of the way, and ever since that point, Roberts was in control until just a moment or two ago when Steve Fender hit that swinging neck breaker. Now Fender is trying to wear down Roberts, take a lot of that momentum away, take the air out of the lungs. As you can see, Roberts is getting the fans behind him. These young and old alike love Ringside Championship Wrestling, and they love the superstars like Kyle Roberts. Roberts needs something here now. He's starting to be on the receiving end of the punishment now, and that's not where he wants to be. Roberts drove in with several elbows to the midsection of the superstar, but Steve Fender, again, don't count him out, nailed Roberts with a drop kick. And the superstar, again, you can see Kyle Roberts, to his credit, did a lot of damage to the left arm. You know, a couple of times that arm connected with the steel post at ringside, and Steve Fender still shaking, trying to get the blood flowing back to that arm, and maybe numb to some degree. And that's a scary place to be when you're in any sort of athletic competition, when any major body part that you have, a leg, an arm, a foot, a knee, a neck, starts to go numb. You get a little bit nervous there about doing things. You can't really get some of the momentum you need to do certain moves because your arm would give away. And Roberts now firing back away. And Steve Fender, he went down deep and pulled out a good old, I guess as they'd say, a Greco-Roman thumb to the eye. Steve Fender, don't think for 1 second, if he feels it's necessary, he will bend the rules and break them in half to get an advantage. And right there a second ago, he did just that with the thumb in the eye. And again, Fender just wants to slow Roberts down, wear him out. Reverse chinlock here. And the momentum is going to again shift toward superstar Steve Fender. He is trying to wear young Kyle Roberts out. Roberts, again, about 4 or 5 years now into his wrestling career. A young man who has already seen time on worldwide television. He is certainly, every time you see him in that ring, he gets just a little bit better, a little bit better. The sky is most definitely, well, there is no limit. I sort of say the sky's the limit, but there is no limit for Kyle Roberts where he can go, and he could very well walk away here from this broadcast as the RCW Heavyweight Champion and just put his name in the history books alongside superstar Steve Fender, alongside John Michael Worthington, the original title holder back in the original run of Ringside Championship Wrestling in 2010. And superstar Steve, of course, after 8 long years of vacancy, claimed that championship on March the 3rd. And now he's having his first major title defense here against Kyle Roberts, who came within an eyelash of winning it at Richland. Rumbling from out of nowhere, here comes Steve Fender. You turn your back even for a second, and there comes the superstar to remind you he is always in the game. Again, the next time you can see Ringside Championship Wrestling live, Saturday, December 15th, RCW Christmas Crash 2018, a holiday super spectacular. You will not want to miss one single second of that wrestling action. Going to be a great time. We'll tell you more details on our next RCW Ringside Edition TV broadcast here on Fidelity Local 6, High Spots Wrestling Network, YouTube, and of course our Facebook channel. Superstar Steve Fender now is showboating a little bit. Might be a mistake here. Great shot there, you can see. Despite some of the haze in the video picture, you can see a lot of great young fans up there watching up over from the balcony areas of the suites at Lebanon I-44 Speedway. Great shot of the fans enjoying this heavyweight championship match for the Ringside Championship Wrestling Gold, currently held by superstar Steve Fender, who finds himself in trouble right now, courtesy of Kyle Roberts. Suplex delivered a second ago, and Kyle Roberts now trying to regain the momentum he had at the very beginning of this contest. It's been a battle. We're about 15 minutes or so into this battle for the RCW Championship, and these two men have given it their all. It shows you just how important it is to be RCW champion, just how much value these two men put on that championship title. We're certainly glad they do. What a matchup this is. Whoa, wow, nice drop kick by Kyle Roberts. Gaining momentum again, here he comes. And those lethal feet, they're like weapons. Kyle Roberts, you know he studied the martial arts to be able to deliver the kicks like he does. Young man out of La Crosse, Wisconsin is on fire, and he has superstar Steve Fender reeling. We may have a new champion. Oh man, that's maybe a knockout blow by Kyle Roberts, who's going to go for a cover. Oh man. You want to talk about being within an eyelash of having a new RCW champion. That is exactly what happened right there. Kyle Roberts, superstar Steve Fender, they are going to town on each other. They both want this really, really badly. Steve Fender now, what's he may be looking for. Sorry to say, Steve Fender thought he might be looking for the big brain buster. Remember, that's how he has defeated many an opponent. He defeated Kyle Roberts with that back on March 3rd. Was looking for it again, but it was not to be now. But still, Steve Fender to that time, he was able to connect, nail the back of the head, the neck area of Kyle Roberts there on the knee. The superstar now starting to gain momentum, swinging a miss on a clothesline, and Kyle Roberts with a spinning enziguri kick. This is just back and forth. Once you think you got one guy has the edge, the other one delivers some high impact maneuver. And now Kyle Roberts, he is thinking, if he's going up to the top, he's got to be thinking his patented frog splash. If Roberts could hit it this time, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it back on the third, but he's able to do it here. He's going to be a champion. Wait a minute. Roberts had the title won, and there's a steal. Kyle Roberts hit the frog splash successfully. He had the title, and here comes a steal, and it's going to be...
Steve is disqualified. Superstar Steve Fender has been disqualified. Your winner by disqualification, Kyle Roberts.
Well, there you hear the announcement. Kyle Roberts is going to be your winner. Thanks to Ace Steel's outside interference, a disqualification, but that also means, as you know, there is no title change on a DQ. Now, wait a minute. Referee Garrett Williams gets nailed by Steve Fender, and it's a 2-on-1 situation here. Obviously, somewhat of an allegiance between Kyle Roberts and Ace Steel. Remember, last time here on RCW Ringside Edition TV, Ace Steel was attacking Ace Steel and Lucy Mendez with a 2-on-1 attack on Air Raid. Thank goodness Kyle Roberts made the save here, but this might be a bit of revenge from Ace Steel, and the fans don't like it. Steve Fender is still in pain. Let's recap. Kyle Roberts hit the frog splash. It was successful. It looked like it was going to be an eyelash away from the crowning of a new RCW Heavyweight Champion. Wait a minute. We apologize here. We're having some video difficulty. Wait, no, wait. That's Tracy Smothers. And ladies and gentlemen, Tracy Smothers, the wild-eyed Southern boy, has been at ringside here.
Come on, Trace.
Ace Steel telling Tracy, come on in here. Tracy has the RCW Heavyweight Championship. Fans are yelling, they're screaming, they're mad. Tracy Smothers is at ringside. He was here to watch the main event. Of course, special guest at Speedway Slam 2. You saw him here last time on television. He gave a lot of props, so to Ace Steel high five. Kind of curious what that's all about. Now, we might be seeing what it's all about here. Come on, Tracy. Well, Tracy Smothers, I have a lot of respect for him, the wild-eyed Southern boy, one of the all-time greats. You're better than this, Tracy. Come on, man. Ace Steel holding Kyle Roberts here. A lot of damage has been done to this young man who should have that title. You see the title in the hand of Tracy Smothers. That should be around the waist of Kyle Roberts right now. I'm pretty darn sure he had the win.
Kyle, he gets me about half hot, so this might go. Hey, I'm trying to work here, okay?
We're having a conference here between these three individuals. Tracy Smothers is telling them to hold Kyle Roberts. This is not going to be good. Roberts is in no man's land. He's in a bad part of town right here. Tracy Smothers, Ace Steel, and Superstar Steve, 3-on-1 situation here against poor Kyle Roberts. This is sad to see, ladies and gentlemen. I hate seeing this. Kyle Roberts deserves better. He deserves. Wait a minute, Tracy Smothers though. Good for you. Good for Tracy. Drop kick on Ace Steel. Drop kick on Superstar Steve Fender. Tracy Smothers, he had other plans. I think he saw a lot of what he likes to see in a wrestler in Kyle Roberts. And yeah, Roberts has a championship. It's not his, unfortunately. It should be. It's not, but there you go. What a rub that is from Tracy Smothers, giving the props to Kyle Roberts. Well, good for you, Tracy. Yeah, sometimes you can't outsmart a good old Southern boy right there. Ace still doesn't like it. He's going to have to learn to love it. Tracy Smothers and Kyle Roberts are standing tall here on RCW Ringside Edition TV.
Superstar Steve Fender.
Yeah, Fender is still the champion. We're out of time. We'll see you next time on RCW Ringside Edition TV.
RCW in December.